Welcome to the first episode of NDP. In this episode, you are gonna hear about some random first living and non living things and some other stuff related to them. If you are a little bit educated, then you probably know that every matter in this universe is made up of elements which you can find in the periodic table. There are 118 elements in the periodic table, and there is a possibility that we can find some new elements in future. You know that elements combine to form substances, and the first thing which is going to be discussed is the substance meconium. By the name, maybe you are thinking that meconium is some sort of element or another synthetic chemical substance, but no. Meconium is actually the first poop a mammalian infant does after coming into the world. Yeah, the first shit you ever did in your life if you were healthy and not robot or dead was meconium. In fact, it's not a regular poop. It's actually very different from regular poop, and that's why it has got a different name. Unlike regular poop, it is actually a dark green tar-like substance, and its ingredients are intestinal epithelial cell, lanugo, mucus, amniotic fluids, and water, which are ingested during the time infant spends in the uterus. And more characteristics which makes it different from your normal poop are it doesn't stink and it's sterile, which means it doesn't have bacteria like your regular poop. Well, don't try to eat it considering it's sterile, as every sterile thing doesn't necessarily deserve to be eaten, and it's disgusting. Maybe now you have a new addition to your vocabulary. You can use this word in your life to, like, if you want to yell at someone, you piece of shit, you can say you piece of meconium instead, and that would be a bit sophisticated. Now just imagine you are in the toilet, sitting on the toilet seat, having a burning poop and using the mobile phone. There are chances that you are using social media app. The website which have stronger claims to be the first social media site is 6degrees.com, created around 1997 by Andrew Weinreich. After that, MySpace came, which was very popular, and then Facebook and Twitter took the lead. Whatever the social media you are using at the moment, one of the main things you are going to see on it is meme. But you might not know who was the first person to use the word meme in the English language. He was actually a British biologist, Richard Dawkins. He was the first person to introduce the word meme, and he used this word in his book The Selfish Gene, published in 1976. If you don't know about Richard Dawkins, then maybe you are a conventional innocent Muslim or other religious person. Richard Dawkins is someone who actually, according to Islamic philosophy, is going to burn in the deepest section of the hell in afterlife regarding his status quo, as he is the world's renowned atheist or agnostic. It doesn't matter, but this punishment is not according to me, but according to Islamism. But I guess one thing will reduce the intensity of his punishment, and that would be the word meme. This word would interfere and would ask the God to have mercy on Richard Dawkins, as this word is the cause of smile on millions of faces. What you are seeing on the phone is actually the internet meme, but there is another definition of meme, which is an idea, behavior, style, or usage that separates from person to person within a culture. Well, according to this definition, spreading of a cultural behavior or idea is also a meme. Then there are many memes in Pakistan which need to be tackled, like population increase or reproduction is a common meme in this our Pakistani culture. No matter how incompetent, unprepared, or unstable a couple is, they have to produce a child in our culture, otherwise they are going to face the bullshit of the people. The best example is the firstborn of the family. In our culture, the firstborn is actually a proof of yes, we can do it. That's why most of them are born within 10 months of the marriage, because couples are desperate to prove. There is more symbolic value attached to the existence of firstborn than humanistic value. Another meme appeared in the world due to COVID-19 was covering the face with masks. At the time of dengue, people were advised to cover their body from mosquito bite, and women are also warned to cover themselves as a protection from man virus. And men are also asked metaphorically to cover their eyes as a safety measure for the vulgarity epidemic being spread by women. But there are some other places need to be covered to protect children to come into this messed up world, and those places are genitalia. But very few people are concerned about this. I won't take the name of the thing that is used in this covering considering the vulgarity related values of my country. By the way, the first rubber condom was produced in mid 19th century after the discovery of rubber vulcanization. And before that, oil paper sheets, cattle intestines and some other animal body materials were used as protection. But there is a story which claims to have the first use of condom in human history, which is the story of King Minos or Minos of ancient times. It is written that he was cursed and his semen had serpents and scorpions in it, and his mistress died after the intercourse. So to prevent the further disaster, the bladder of the goat was introduced in woman's genital, which protected her from the disease. While there are some other arguments that actually the king who wore the blood, whoever wears it, the key point is especially for the ladies out there, always make sure that there are no serpents and scorpions in the fluid. Otherwise, you can give birth to the Scorpion King. Now, one of the greatest questions ever faced by humanity is over concern, and that is which came first, the whole roast or the omelette? Ha ha ha. Enough with the lame humor. I hope you got it that I am talking about chicken and egg. If you didn't, then I wonder who is the real lame. If we tackle this question religiously, then we don't have to tackle it at all because it doesn't matter, and that's the beauty of it. So we have to tackle this in a scientific way. And if you are a Muslim listening to this, then you can skip it because it's gonna be related to evolution. And instead of getting it, you would be probably rebelling it. So what you think came first, the chicken, the egg, or something else? Well, I searched on this question and went through many articles, and I found that eggs were present even before the chickens. And by the eggs, I am talking about the eggs of dinosaurs and the species other than chickens, like dragons. So the egg definitely came first. But now the main question is between the chicken and the chicken's egg. The other question which comes to the mind is, what do you mean by the chicken egg? The egg being laid by the chicken or the egg that a chicken hatches from? Maybe you are thinking that are both of them not same, but I would actually doubt it because I think according to science, chicken can lay an egg from which a new chicken-like species can come. Considering this theory, the egg from which the chicken came from is different from the egg laid by the chicken because the results are different, considering the chicken from the previous sentence. But it doesn't matter because when there were no chickens, two birds that were almost but not actually chickens mated and laid an egg that hatched into the first chicken. If you are prepared to call that egg a chicken's egg, then the egg came first. Otherwise, the chicken came first, and the first chicken's egg had to wait until the first chicken laid it. But there was a theory which suggests the chicken came first, and the explanation is the chicken egg shell, which we see today, is mostly made from calcium carbonate, which relies on a special protein called OC17 present in the ovary of the chicken. So the chicken have to come first, but at this point I don't know the egg from which the first chicken came from, led by the mutation of the two chicken-like species had calcium carbonate or not in its shell. So still it isn't certainly obvious that which came first, and I apologize for this. At the end of this, it has become a false dichotomy. Eggs certainly came before chickens, but chicken eggs did not. You can't have one without the other. However, if I have to pick one on the basis of the articles I read, then I would pick egg. What you would pick? Comment down below, and I try to think of a cool ending, and something came to my mind which I'm not gonna present. So until next time, scientific bye. Well, after the goodbye, I would like to say that there would be some boo boos in this episode, and if you get them, then kindly try to ignore them, or you can make fun of those things in the comments below if you want to. And one of them, which I actually found out, was it is the word sterile, not the sterile, which means free from the bacteria. The funny thing is, I actually I learned tomorrow how to pronounce this. If you find some more mistakes in this episode, then you can comment down below if you are listening this on YouTube, and you can review it too if you are listening to Apple Podcast or other podcast platforms if they provide the review section. And that's it.